now that we have talked about chords inside of C major scale, let's talk about those numbers that we have here. Those are called Roman numerals. They are really important because they tell us the relation between all the notes in our scale. Also how they relate back to the tonic of our chord, which is this one right here. Remember, as we said, that scales are relative concepts. That means if we move not to C major, but for example to F major, the relationship between all of these chords remains the same. So, for example, the fourth chord of any scale will have the same relation to the first chord of the scale. That should be obvious. You may ask why we talk in so weird way. Because basically the Roman numerals makes the communication between musicians super easy to understand. And there are practical examples for that. So if a guitarist in a band say to keyboard player, hey, we are in D major and we are playing 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. He immediately knows what chords to play and doesn't have to think of the names of these chords. Because he can build the chords and the guitarist, for example, didn't have to think of the actual names of the chords. Roman numerals is the most common communication system between musicians. You probably have found it sometime on the internet. It's very common to use this type of description of the chords. To make everything sure, the B diminished chord is assigned to Roman 7 with degree mark. That's for everybody to know that it's a diminished chord. Most of the time, electronic music or rock or pop music uses 3 or 4 chords in a row, like 1, 4, 5, 1, or 2, 3, 5, 6, for example. So let's jump back into FL Studio, apply our knowledge in context, and make a typical and easy chord progression. We'll be using, for example, 1, 5, 6, 4. So let's count it. We'll need this chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, as we said, 5 and 6. So we can cut it, Control A and delete everything here, and paste it back in. So here we have our 1, and we'll start with this. So let's maybe Control and arrow up to transpose it octave up. So it sounds the same, but it's in higher octave. Like this. Not like this. So we have 1, here we have our 4, but we want the 5th next. So let's take it here. Then we wanted the 6th one, so we get it here. And let's hear it now. You for sure have heard this ultra happy chord progression already, because it's the most common chord progression in music. So what we did here is start with the first root chord of the scale, C major, then followed up with the 5th chord, which is G major, then with 6th chord, which is A minor. And you know why it's minor? Because, yeah, it has minor third and then major third. And it sounds sad, right? And then we finish up with F major chord. This chord progression is so common that if you write in Google 4 chords, you'll find an entertaining video with this exact chord progression. And that's why if you lay down these chords, you pretty much have a fundamental for a hit song already.